What's going on, y'all? Y'all tuned into another episode of Exposure. I be your boy, the Global Zoe, and I'm with the gang.
Eric Biddines.
Drego Mill.
And we want to give a shout out to our official sponsor, Bel Air and Vion, Exposure's official drink of choice.
It's all about exposure. You need the exposure. You gotta touch the streets. You need that street credibility. You need that promotion. And that's what exposure provides for the people.
Working million at the mixtape side out here at MIA, grinding like I always do. Watching Exposure.
Getting hit in the head with that exposure. You know what it is, them down dogs, Raylo, #1 DJs, #1 promoters for show from Palm Beach. It's exposed. It's wide open now.
Y'all check it out, you know what I'm saying? Keep it locked all over Florida.
And you are watching Exposure.
And today we got a special invited guest, the one and only Triple J. Yes sir. Trip, what's going on? Hey man, we good over here, man. We good. We excited.
Yeah.
Yes,
This a big one.
This a big one, right? Yeah, I'm about to say this a big
What number
one.
episode this is?
This number 9.
So this episode 9. So
Yes,
we
sir.
9 in so far.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
All right.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Hey, let's just dive in right on in it, man. I mean, Trip, right out the gate, man. What got you into music?
Oh man, just the environment, just growing up, feeling like the type of music my parents listened to was good, but it didn't inspire me. It didn't reflect what I was seeing in my environment. You know what I mean? So, when I first heard, I saw the movie Beat Street, heard Melly Mel, I was like, okay, I like this. That didn't influence me to be a rapper, not yet at that point.
Okay.
But it got me into the culture. I think my first dive into the waters of hip hop might have been breakdancing, man. Believe it or not, I used to, I was all right. I wasn't winning no competitions, but then my best friend at the time, Benji, R.I.P. Benjamin Rollins, he was the king. Pop locking it. He was like Turbo and Ozone in one.
Yeah.
So I used to watch him a little bit and do what he did, backspin and things like that. But then a few years later, Run DMC,
Okay.
That's the group that inspired me to rap. You know what I mean? So and of course I always been an artist, so I was into the graffiti too, which is a part of hip hop.
Okay.
In the movie Beat Street, that's probably out of every movie that ever made to commemorate the birth of hip hop, that's probably the best one because it incorporated all of it. The dancing, the break dancing, the graffiti, the DJing, the MCing, you know what I mean? So, of course, after the graffiti and the break dancing, I got into the MCing and it was over after that.
So I want to intercept, especially for our viewers, because this is a very important form of documentation.
Yeah.
And us, we artists
Right.
As well. Right. So for us, we noticed, and this was how exposure came about, that we didn't have documentation of our history here.
That's right.
So you are a very important part of this documentation, and you just pinpointed
you mean
on something.
locally, right?
What you said?
You mean locally?
Locally, regionally.
Right.
The information and perspectives that you have, none of us have.
Right.
Nobody. Like when you think how beautiful this opportunity is, what you have, nobody have.
Right.
I know kids growing up doing music. My son do music now. They know nothing. You have other regions. They have references. So you bringing up breakdancing and this stuff. Right. Now I'm going back. I'm like this penetrated this part of our region here.
Oh, breakdancing?
From breakdancing, graffiti, the influence.
Was that part of locally what we doing?
Yeah.
Here in Florida.
Yeah.
No, who would tell us that?
I mean,
where would we know that
I
existed?
Never to that point, I never heard.
Right.
Yeah, I would have never heard.
Like think about. I went to when I was in New York not too long ago. They have They got pictures, documentation.
Now, I gotta speak now, as far as the whole county. You gotta think when we was that age, we wasn't getting Boynton was out of town to me. Del Rey was out of town. You know what I mean? We ain't go nowhere farther than Okeechobee unless we really was going out of town. Our parents taking us to Disney or something. So locally, I can't speak for what the county was doing. But in the Raw, yeah, we was breakdancing. I'm talking about cardboards on the ground and everything. We really was breakdancing in the Raw.
I would have never knew that was something that was
pop locking and spinning and all. Yeah, we were breakdancing, bro.
As long as I've been here, for me,
I'm talking about the whole culture, the Adidas jumpsuits and all. Yeah, we was hip hop, bro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, ask anybody that grew up in the '80s. Yeah, you know what I mean. By the time the '90s and stuff came out, those kids they not gonna know because it was gone by then. But anybody from born in the mid '70s, early '70s, the mid '70s, they gonna tell you, yeah, man, yeah, hip hop was hell yeah. Shit, we at the West Palm Beach Auditorium, we never missed a concert, bro. Run DMC came, Fat Boys came, Houdini came.
They came on here?
Yeah.
Kravis Center?
Yeah, the West Palm Beach Auditorium, man. Yeah. I went to every concert.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to go.
See, this is why this is so important.
Yeah.
This is why this is so important.
Yeah, some of us would have never known that.
Oh, yeah.
I never... Out of our own history and culture, we would have never known.
I even go so far as to say even like the downtown area of West Palm, them too, because they was at the concerts. Matter of fact, the rivalry between West Palm and Rivera, that go way back from then. They used to fight each other at the concerts back then. You know what I mean? So, yeah, hip hop was a big part of West Palm Beach, bro. Real big.
Okay. Hey, I like that. Oh, you go. I know you got some stuff.
No, that's good. That's
good.
awesome. So the Raw, for those who don't know, aka Riviera, we call it the Raw. When that nickname came about for the Raw?
Actually, I was working on my first album, and me and my brother were talking about something, man. Like I didn't know what to name the album or something. And he's some kind of way said, I forgot, what direction the conversation was going in, but he was like, "Nigga, we from Raw Vera." I said, "What's it? Say that again, bro." He said, "Raw Vera, nigga. It's Rivera, but it's raw, nigga."
Right.
I named my first album that, man, and it took off after that. So, yeah, my brother actually made that name up, though. And, I gotta say, it's like synonymously that's what it's known for nationwide. That's what they call our city.
So we can. It's safe to credit y'all for that.
Oh, it's safe. Very much.
The Raw wasn't on.
Matter of fact, I don't get into a lot of disputes, but that right there, I'm standing on that. Like, okay, they not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't about me being, greedy about the credit, but you ain't gonna discredit that. And I see a lot of people trying to discredit, but I challenge anyone to find that name documented anywhere before I put out my album, bro.
And you wouldn't. You ain't gonna find it.
So that was 1999, by the way. So I challenge anyone to find somebody who was saying Raw Vera before 1999.
We have the creator of the Raw.
Oh yeah.
You have.
Well, my brother created it.
Well, your brother, y'all. Yeah. This is the channel in which that came through, right. And this is important because, at least for documentation and historical, just the information that we would need to know. There's people saying this today. Don't even know where it come from. It turned into a dialect where you pronouncing it.
I mean, that's how everything is. I mean,
yeah.
If you think of any slang words you can think of. You don't know where it started at. You know what I mean? It's just like you say, we blessed enough to be in the era now where things can be documented and you can, pinpoint. Oh yeah, they was. You know what I mean? That's documented. That was the name of my album.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you gotta produce something prior to that to stake claim to that.
That's another thing. I ain't even know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, continue. I can tell I'm a fan.
For real.
So, Trip, do you look at yourself like a pioneer? When we talk about a solo artist from Palm Beach, do you look at yourself like a pioneer of the music scene?
The word pioneer itself just simply means somebody who started something. To the layman's terms, you know what I mean? So, I ain't the first one, but I'm amongst the first. So, yeah, I wear that. We've had people before me, Cooley C.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Big Tech, Black Pack, R.I.P. Sean. You know what I mean? Brain Damage, the Av, my personal, the niggas that brought me in, the Av. So a lot of them, again, that was before the internet and all that. So you really had to be in the culture to even know who these niggas is, like into the regional local culture to even know who they was at that time. But yeah, I wasn't the first, you know what I mean? And a little bit of all of them had something to do with me being who I am, especially the Av. That was my first time going to the studio with them niggas.
Sure.
And of course, cool to see me and him got to work later on in my career. Like when I had the Def Jam deal, he produced a lot of records for me. And, just Splat Pack just being inspirational because they really was from the raw. You know what I mean? So that was like, okay, they were the first, in my opinion, well, to me, you know what I mean, the first ones who made me feel like, okay, locally we can do this because I knew that I went to school with these niggas. You know what I mean? Right. Just like me just hearing them on the radio, like these were niggas I actually knew. You feel me? So that made the dream a reality.
Yeah,
that's what's up. And I could imagine the sources back then. So what made you from dancing? Okay, you wanted to rap. What inspired that first album to be like, you know what, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna drop a project?
Oh man, what inspired my first album?
Yeah,
that was such a gradual thing. Like making an album wasn't I ain't just wake up, I'm gonna make an album. You know what I mean? Like I'm like truly a child of hip hop, so it was such a gradual process to get to that. You start out with doing the talent shows.
Okay.
Then you're doing the battle raps. Then next thing you know, I'm putting together a rap group. We're going to the studio, just dropping records. Talking about stuff that was going on in the neighborhood. Then to the point where I got people calling me, offering me a record deal. We fly out to Cali, get that done. Then I meet Face. He kind of grabbed me in, put me up on his wing a little bit. He take me to Def Jam, and then now my mind is like, okay, now I got to start making albums. You know what I mean? Before that, I was just making records.
Oh, you ain't have an album out before the Def Jam?
My first that Rivera album, that was actually my demo tape for Def Jam.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's the drawing. Because you drew the cover.
Yeah, with the fish on it.
Yeah.
I had 3 different deals with Def Jam. Like my whole process with Def Jam, that was like maybe a whole 6-year thing, man. Cause probably longer than that. Cause my first interaction with them was in '99. That was before they even had Def Jam South. They were getting ready to build a label, Def Jam South.
Okay.
And Face took me up there, and I got what they call a demo deal at the time. I don't even think they do them no more.
Okay.
And that was the music I did for that first album. I turned that into that. The music I did for that demo, that's what I turned into my first album. Because they passed on me the first time. That's what Face was talking about in the Drink Champs interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first time he took me to Leo, they passed on me. And then they put out Ludacris. And after they did the whole thing with Ludacris and Def Jam South became an established, label or whatever. Then Face came and got me and took me to that, and that's when we did the actual deal.
So
that was like 2 years later.
So when you did your demo deal, do they give you a budget to record?
Yeah, $10,000.
So they give you the budget, and that was how. So that was how you was able
to fly you wherever you're gonna record that or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And
I do remember hearing of those though.
And you get to choose where you want to record, like how you record.
As long as they approve it. Like I couldn't. Of course, y'all know I wanted like Oscar and Chuck. That's who we was using that time, but they wouldn't let us go to. Like, no, it's got to be somebody.
Okay.
They approve.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they sent me to. I did a few records with T Mix from Suave House at the time. Y'all remember who make 8 Ball and MJ?
Yeah.
So I did a session at his studio. He recorded, he produced a couple tracks for me. I did a session at Tone Capone studio.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Some places they were sending me. Face was pretty much setting up a lot of the studio stuff. Because at that time, Face was real hands-on with the demo process. Because he was trying to get me signed. So he took charge in that process. But it was up to Leo to make the final decision.
So when you got the Escalade,
I was about to say.
Oh yeah, you had that process like that coming.
Because I felt like that's when, at least on our side, that's when we knew everyone knew Trip had a deal, and then the talk was about the Escalade. Like that's
2 years later, like nobody really knows how the whole process behind it.
Yeah, I ain't know that process. All I knew is it went, and this before internet, and I'm from Derry. It came. Triple J got a deal. He got an Escalade. This was like this solidified for everything. People would drive just to hope to see the Escalade.
Matter of fact, this is how early it was because my first time actually meeting the Def Jam people was they had a party at the Fountain Blue in Miami, and it was called Def Jam 2000. Like that was the signifying like Def Jam was taking over the 2000s, and that was when Ja Rule was, the lead artist. Ja Rule, matter of fact, Ja Rule bigger than Jay-Z at the time.
Yep.
It was like
Yeah.
like DMX and Ja Rule, the two niggas running, the head honcho.
Because Irv was,
and they was all there. We was all at party together. Ja Rule, Jay-Z, all the Def Jam execs, Face. You know what I mean? That was a hell of a party too, dog. But Diddy was there. It wasn't just Def Jam. It was like
everybody.
all the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was a hell of a party. Lil' Kim, that was a hell of a fucking party, man. Yeah, but so that was like 2000, and then fast forward 2 years later, that's when I actually get the deal in 2002. It was like May of 2002. That's when I signed, and that's when I got the Escalade and all that.
Now,
but in between that process, see Def Jam kind of fueled me. Okay. So when they passed on me, now I got this product. I'm like, I know this is a good product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leo Coin might not understand it, but I know the niggas where I'm from, they gonna fuck with this.
Right.
So I took that same, it was like 8 songs I had on the demo tape, and I think I probably put maybe 4 more, however many was on the album. I put that much more on the demo tape, and I just put it in the streets, named it Rivera, and that's when it took off. That's the beginning of the Triple J that y'all know.
Right.
But actually, my career started in Cali though. Like I was already putting out records in the Bay Area, so I got like a fan base out there that people don't even know it's the same Triple J, but that's me.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Damn.
Yeah.
You was taking trips back and forth, or you was had that design out there
for the first few years we were taking trips back and forth. Then,
okay.
But it got so regular that we just moved out there, man.
Gotcha.
So I actually stayed out there for a little bit over a year.
Okay.
So what was the advances like back then? On that first deal, cause you bought an Escalade.
My first advance was 50,000.
How much the Escalade was?
Oh, I only put like $20,000 down on the Escalade. No, back then we ain't had no sense putting money down like that.
That was a lot back then.
It was.
That was a lot.
What they were going for, but I ain't had no
credit. That was my first time ever financing anything. I'm just a street nigga. I'm paying all my cars cash. I had 0 credit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Plus, I ain't know the credit game like that. We had to teach ourselves. But my whole deal was $350.
Yeah.
So the advance, what that is, that's just basically the first check they give you out of that. But all the money is yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, you gotta, that money covers everything though.
Yeah.
Features, your change. So that's what I didn't know.
Yeah.
I found it out during. Thankfully, I found it out during the process. Because every time, it's time I got to sign off on my budget. And I'm like, okay, let me make sure I know what I'm signing off on, you know what I mean? So, and my lawyer explained to me, like, no, I was trying to tell you, like, this is your money for do everything. I'm like, damn, to take flights too? He's like, yeah, this everything.
Oh, everything.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? So, once you complete everything, see, the object is to get everything done for as little as possible so you get the rest of that budget to put in your pocket.
Gotcha.
So, what they do is they give you an advance out of that, whatever them and your lawyers negotiate on. Once you get that advance, that's your living expense while you're working on the album. Ooh. So at that time, I guess it was expected to finish the album in maybe 2-3 months. So that money they gave me was for me to live on off of while we were doing that process. And then after we finished with the album, I get what's left.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing no who was hot at the time, Swiss Beats or none. I wasn't getting none of that. I was gonna get all, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna pay no more than maybe 10 bands a beat. So I was, all that was coming back to me.
Yeah. No, that's what's up.
So some of your older records, do you feel like they would be still hot if they came out today? No. No. Okay.
So I know we coming from our side too. I also feel like the blueprint, when we think about the Oscars, we think about the D-Suaves, like when I feel like the artist would drop a project, from mixing the recording to the photo shoot and graphic, I feel like a lot of us came after we started doing pretty much what you already had established, those relationships. When did you meet Oscar, and how has that been working with, I think, one of the finest engineers we have in Palm Beach? There's a lot of them. But
I actually met Oscar in '99. It was right after I came back from New York with the demo. I had a few songs I did from the demo deal, and I came back. I hooked up with my homeboy Wayno. He was already a producer I knew from, we had other music situations we had been in before that.
Right.
So I reached out to Wayno. I'm like, yo man, I want to put these songs out, just add a few more songs to them, and put me a tape on the streets. He was like, cool, let's go check out this cat Oscar, man. Cause I think Wayne had met him through Mimi. Mimi was actually his first hip hop client, and she had some a group that she was working with.
The female that produced.
Am I twice?
Yeah, she was his first. She was his first hip hop client. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so she had been telling me about him, but then once Wayne said something about it, I was like, okay, it's my second time hearing about this Oscar cat. Let me go check him out. And then, so yeah, that's when I started with Oscar, like '99. That's why I did Blood. I didn't record Blood Raw in his studio, but the album that got Blood Raw in it.
Give it to you, Blood Raw. Blood Raw.
Dope. So let's talk about, if we can fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about the big tech, that situation, right? You was that was an independent deal, independent label functioning out of here. Yeah. And if I'm not correct, there wasn't a Boosie record came out of that too.
No, that was after the Tech situation. The record I did with Tech was we did the Bun B record.
Bun B. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
And of course, my relationship with Bun came from when I was on Def Jam. He was my A&R.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So Bun B was a Def Jam A&R?
He was a Triple J A&R.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you right now, it was his first venture. Triple J Project was his first venture on the executive side of things. From behind him, being on the other side of the mic. Last time I talked to him, matter of fact, he said, I tell niggas all the time, well, my first time put my big boy pants on was fucking with Triple J.
Yeah.
That's dope. I did not know that.
That's lit.
Oh yeah, he was tough too. He was tough to work with, boy.
In what way when you say that?
Like he was hard on me.
Oh, okay.
He was hard on me. That nigga, I spit that shit. Nah, go back and do it over. Like what? We almost came to blows a few times.
Nah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that nigga was hard on me. I'm thankful though, because he made me a better artist.
Okay.
That nigga was hard on me though, boy. I'm talking about hard on my, like I used to think he was hating on me or what, you know what I mean? Like,
do it again.
I talk to Faith. I'm like, man, I don't know what's up with this nigga Bud, dog. He said this nigga hate me or something. He said, he's like, nah, that nigga just know you raw, dog. He trying to bring the best out you. Just follow his lead.
Yeah, not everybody would know how to handle that.
Facts.
I miss things like that. I've been complaining a lot lately about the music industry, and I was like, I think we messed up when we got to that threshold to where we knew we can do so much on our own. Yeah. And it got away to some of those grooming elements that was very important and beautiful. Yeah. And I'm guilty myself of entering in that era where the artists started getting a lot of more power, and we was like, forget the labels, we don't need them, da da da. And then now fast forward, I'm looking back, I'm like, man, it was some beautiful elements in the process that we put our middle fingers at them, and now you can kind of somewhat see where we paying the price for those who care about the culture. It's like, nah, they was kind of right. I would love to have some proper media training.
I mean, it's like a child. You hate discipline when you know, but when you get grown, you realize, man, if it wasn't for my mom and dad beating my ass all the times I got them whoopings, who knows where I'd be right now? You feel what I'm saying? So you're thankful for it. I mean, not it's a difference between abuse and discipline. I'm talking about the abuse, but if you're being properly disciplined, which sometimes, you know, institutes corporal punishment, which means getting that ass whooped, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's properly done, you're gonna appreciate that.
Yeah. And
it's the same thing. Like, you know, we appreciate now, you know, any kind of discipline, any kind of constructive criticism we ever had throughout our journey, we appreciate it now. But at the time you was going through, you probably felt like it was hate. But really, you know, people just trying to, you know, make you the best person you could be.
Yeah. I like to see that come back. The other artistic sides of the behind the scenes in the music industry.
But these young motherfuckers now, you can't tell them nothing. Like the way Bun, you know, critiqued me. Yeah. That would be harder for a nigga to do today, because these niggas don't have, you know, and I'm gonna just say it, like I see that they don't have the type of respect that we had for our, you know,
our elders.
OGs, right? Yeah, I was just talking to one of my homeboys the other day. He got a life sentence, and he been locked up since '89. And he's telling me how he's seen things transform. Like, he was just telling me, like, he was like, man, the gang's so bad in here now. Like, Florida, we never really been on the gang thing, but it took over the prisons, though. Yeah. He's like, man, the gang shit so bad now, man, it's old. They just, man, these legit just whooped the old. The man 60-something years old, man. 5 jits jumped on his ass, dog. He said, you never would have saw that when I first came in this motherfucker. Like, if you were old, you automatically, unless you really did some disrespectful shit. Right. But an old nigga, we give them a pass, like, we ain't really fuck with them like that. He said, man, these niggas don't even got respect for the elderly in this bitch no more, dog. Can you imagine that, man? You know, some people, if you got a life sentence, you're gonna be in there till you die.
Right.
I mean, you could be 89 years old in that motherfucker, and And you gotta live around that shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what fuels that fire now? I mean, you had major deals. You've done indie. What keeps you going today, like till today? Because we're gonna talk about the new projects as well. But what keeps that fire going? Well, most people are already tapped out. I'm sure you look to your left and your right, you don't see the same individuals who was doing it from back then to now. What keeps that fire going?
Yeah. Well, for one, I don't pay attention to my left or right. I got tunnel vision.
Okay.
Come to my career, but what keep me going is just the love, man. I love making music, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's something I feel like there's no age limit on it because, you know, when we was kids, we used to see the old men talking shit up under the tree. They weren't never too old to talk shit.
Right.
That's a good way to look at it.
Like we too old to talk shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking shit. That's all I'm doing. How you gonna tell me I'm too old to get on this mic and talk shit?
Right.
If you don't want to hear it, don't listen. But you ain't gonna make me think I'm too old to talk.
That's a good way to look at it. Heck yeah. So, you know, you drop, 420, you drop Unknown. You done something that most artists haven't had a chance to do yet, but I think you put together a body of work from G-Boy. You got J Red on there. I want to talk about that session. I heard that was an interesting session there. You know what I mean? We got Ike Turner, Toe Down, Poppa Duck. What
21 Reese, Suave Smooth.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Eric Biddines.
I would have to name everybody. Eric on there. Yeah. I mean, how do we come to Unknown? And I know that had to be a challenge trying to get all these artists on the project. What inspired you saying, you know what, I'm already established out here, but I want to do something with everybody?
Yeah, it's crazy. I was actually back in there working on a solo project, and I was just recording songs. You know, that's how I start my each project. I just start recording songs before I come up with a name or a theme or anything.
Okay.
And then before I know it, I might find a certain common theme, and then that's when I start honing in on that particular theme.
Okay.
Then I might be 5-6 records in, but then I might find 3 that fit a particular theme. Like, damn, this sounds like this could be a theme.
Okay.
And then I run with it, and I start building off those 3. Them other 3 records you probably never even hear. So I was like 5 songs in, still didn't really have a theme. Just songs that was just matter of fact, Poppa Pill, the song I just released, was one of those songs. So I actually did that song. That song like over a year old already.
Okay.
But I just held on to it because, like I said, I didn't have a theme for what I wanted to do yet. So one night I was just sliding, man. I riding through the city, and the city was just boring. Wasn't nobody out, bro. It was a beautiful night. It wasn't raining or nothing. I'm like, damn, where everybody at? You know, like sometimes it just be meant for you to be in a certain place at a certain time. You feel me? Yeah. So I ride down all the avenues in the hood. Ain't nobody out. So let me go down to my old stomping ground. So I'm riding down J Avenue. And I see Ike Turner and Lil Aaron out there. I'm like, man, y'all the only niggas out in the whole hood, boy. Ain't nobody out, man. Yeah. What's going on? They're like, shit, we out. What's going on, man? So I pulled the car over our park. We drinking and shit, just chopping it up. Yeah. And they had been doing their thing with the music, a little more recently. And I just told them, I'm like, man, I've been paying attention. I see what y'all doing, man. I like that shit. And we just, one thing led to another. And I was like, shit, you know what, boy? It'll be dope as fuck, boy. We all the old niggas, you know what I mean? Because we was already talking about how I was encouraging them to keep going, even though they're a little older. Like, don't be discouraged just because of your age, my nigga. Just, you know what I mean? It's a demographic for that shit. Yeah. Older niggas, we want to hear older nigga music. We don't want to hear little kids rapping all that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what the idea came from, man. I was like, shit, we should, all the old heads, my niggas, just get together and do something. I put that shit together, bro. And they was like, yeah, let's go. And then I think I just came up with the name right there on the spot, And I knew I had to reach out to, all the old vets out of the county, and of course Eric B. Yeah. Thank you for being on there, because you was the last feature that I was waiting on that one, dog.
I was happy. I got the phone call. He hit me up, and I wasn't answering the phones at the time, so he called me like, "This Eric?" Like, he texted. I was like, yeah. But what I appreciate, and I never got this from a feature. He asked me where my head was, like, and what I wanted to talk about, or what I was going through, what I was thinking about. Yeah. And it took me a while to process that request. It's almost like you think you just vibing with a person, and then they ask you something just so generous, and then it kind of throw you back. You like, you realize nobody never really asked me that.
Right.
Nobody.
People never do though when
They don't.
when they're doing features, but that's kind of how I did this whole project. Of course, I hadn't talked to you in so long, so I had to ask you that. But everybody else, I kind of just from talking to them all the time, I knew what they wanted to talk about, like G-Boy. You know what I mean? The song that I am on, I knew that's what he wanted to talk about because I knew his situation. Toe Down, me and him talk a lot, so I knew the kind of shit he wanted to be on. You know what I mean? So it was you and a few other people I asked, like Reese. I kind of asked him like, what you want to talk about? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he been away for so long, but I felt like that's what made it so special, man. Because everybody was rapping their song.
There you go.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. It was a Triple J album, or it was my album, but everybody was rapping their song on my album. Like niggas weren't just rapping my songs. Everybody rapping their song.
You knew you was gonna do that?
Yeah, that was the whole intent. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's dope for the city. That inspired. I know that inspired me.
I think that's what make the best features though. I mean, if you're gonna do a pimp song, you don't put Scarface on it. You put
Get Pimp C.
Yeah.
Pimp C.
Yeah. Pimp C. If you gonna do some old dope boy, cold ass gangster shit, then you put Scarface on it.
And I think the one thing you shared with me too is like he said when you did the hook over the phone, like to get you the idea. Like I just don't give me goosebumps. I'm like, that's a real man. Back in. I remember coming up with a hook like, hey, it's gonna go like this. Like
I said, Trip is sharp. He hit me. He was like, all right. He know where my head was. All right, I got you. He already kind of even mumbled through over the phone like some concepts. I got it. All right, I'm gonna hit you back on how to be. You know that he gonna go through. Yeah. But like 2 days, got the beat. He was like, then he just spit it. Like I'm like, this would sound like the recorded version. You know it. You did the hook. Everything. He probably had the ad libs going right now. Sounding like the record. I'm like, boy, he is on it. Yeah. He is really, really on it. He just did it effortless, like without nothing. And it sounded exactly like what it was supposed to be. And I had a request. It was a request too. So
Eric gonna come out for everybody.
And then we hit me up. He like, I got the studio booked tomorrow. Afternoon. I'm like, that's perfect. How do you know that's perfect? And how do you know I'm gonna have it ready by tomorrow?
Yeah.
And
the whole album came together like it was meant to be, man. It's if I tell you the process and the steps toward this making this happen. Okay, so I talked to I'm having that conversation with Ike them that night. We talking. I said, okay, I'm gonna gather up. I'm gonna call, make all the phone calls tomorrow. I know I gotta holler at Gang. You know what I mean? And remind me to get back to that. How I brought Gang in because a lot of people questioning why when he got Gangsta Lucky Lucci. Yeah. Because he didn't have as much of an impact in the rap game as all the rest of these players. But I'll get back to it. Okay. To tell you why with him. But so I'm like, I gotta holler at Gang. I gotta holler at G-Boy. I gotta holler at Toe Down. Gotta holler at Duck. I'm just going through my mind. All the OGs I gotta hit up. So that next day, I forget what he made me stop at this now I don't even live in Palm Beach no more. Duck don't live in Palm Beach. He live in Orlando. Yeah. Okay. So we way up in St. Louis somewhere. And I never go to this restaurant. I mean, I've been there a few times, but I never hardly go to this restaurant. Now this the next day after I'm having this conversation with Ike. Okay. So I go in the restaurant and I'm already telling myself I gotta make sure I call Duck today. So I walk in this little taco shop, dog. I walk in the taco spot, and I'm looking at this nigga sitting at the table. I said, damn, this nigga look like Weeknd. That's Duck real name, Weeknd. I said, damn, this nigga look like Weeknd, but I know this can't be him. Like, it can't be. Right, it feels right. Yeah. I'm tripping now. I want this shit to happen so bad. Now I'm tripping. I'm hallucinating. Yeah. So I'm walking in. The closer I'm getting, the more he looking like him. You know what I mean?
You looking like who you look like.
Last time I saw Duck, he had dreads, right? So this nigga got this nigga clean cut and shit. I said, nah, they came. I said, but Duck got to look like around this bitch. So I was getting ready to call him and say, well, I seen niggas look just like you. So the closer I get, I said, let me just throw his name out there. I said, Weeknd. That nigga turned around. I said, man, I almost passed out. I said, what the fuck? Wow. I said, dog, you know, I was just getting ready to call you, my nigga. Like, what's going on, dog? Damn, what you doing here? So we, you know, had that little talk with a long time, no see, whatever. So I'm like, bro, you will never believe, bro. Me and this nigga Ike last night, we just talking about everybody getting together doing a project for all the OGs out of the county. He was like, yeah, I'm with that, man. Shit, I was just telling myself I'm ready to get back in the lab, dog. So you catch me at a good time. I'm like, bro, you really on this? I was just getting ready to call you. Like, as soon as I wanted to take my wife some lunch. As soon as I dropped her off for lunch, I was getting ready to call you, bro. Mm-hmm. So that was like a sign, like, man, yo, we doing the right thing, my nigga. So then I called Toe, and Toe said the same thing. He was like, man, I was just saying, man, I'm ready to get back in the lab, so you catching me at a perfect time. Yeah. I called Reese. Reese said the same thing. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to get back. I'm glad you called me. You know what I mean? So then it just started coming together. Called G-Boy. He was like, yeah, he was feeling the same. He said, I want to tell my story. I feel like it's time to tell my story. So I want to. So I'm like, this is it. I gotta do this. So I put my solo project. I ain't even think about that shit no more. So I started putting together the that's how it came, bro. Like it was just meant to be.
Dope. So let's get the gang on. You talk about how everyone had a resume and had a body of work, and he probably didn't have as much. So what made you reach out to him?
See, the thing with Gang, remember I told you I'm a child of hip hop, right? So throughout my different eras or phases that I went through, to me, one of the phases that really solidified me as being, that separated me from being just a rapper to that street nigga rapper. You know what I mean? Was Gang was a part of that, because when I was in I think maybe 9th grade or whatever, you know, early teens, I had a group called the Mad Dog Posse. And it was a club called the Spectrum. Like this is really how hip hop was back then. When I'm telling you, like, we really had a hip hop scene. Yeah. So the Spectrum was a teen club, but on Friday nights they used to have, like, you ever seen the movie 8 Mile? Yeah. Right. And then battle each other. Yeah. We actually did that at the Spectrum.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So my group was of course it was a lot more. You know, that was, we was a little more street, because this is you know how it is down here.
Yeah. Different environment.
South, right? So it wasn't as hip hop as that. So all the rappers, of course, was little gangster niggas, you know what I mean? Little gangs, basically, at the time. So, Gang had his little gang. They would call Young Niggas on the Rampage. I had my gang, Mad Dog Posse. And every week, we would be the top contenders battling each other. You feel what I'm saying? And I got more into the hip-hop, more into the following my career. And Gang got a little more in the streets, but we always had that rivalry with each other, you know what I mean? Because he was still putting out his records or whatever. And then, later on in life, that rivalry got kind of like real, like not between me and him, but between my homeboys and his homeboys. It was like, a lot of violence going on between the two. But man, we always kept a mutual respect for each other and shit. So to me, out of everybody that was on the project, it was the most important to have them for those two reasons. Right? One, like, man, we show these niggas up just because we ain't gotta hate each other just because, you know what I mean? For sure. And a lot of people don't even know me and him really got that history. I mean, since we was I'm like a year older than him, a year or two older than him, but since we was kids, bro, we always had that history with each other when it came to rap. So it was as a matter of fact, his manager at the time, I had a homeboy named T Black that was in my group, and Gang them manager was T Black uncle. His blood uncle, like that was his mama's brother. You feel what I'm saying? So it was a lot of tension there, man. Cause Unc used to be instigating the shit, and yeah, man. And then one of the niggas that was in his group, he wound up catching a few bodies. He got life now. You know what I mean? So it was like, it wasn't just no rap shit. It was like, you feel me? We real, at the time, we think what being real is as kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? We real niggas doing that shit. Yeah. Putting our life on the line about that rap shit, bro. So Gay was a part of my life, dog. So I just, a lot of people don't know that, but I had to put that out there.
How much do you think the rap influenced the gang activity, or you think the culture influenced?
Back then, no, rap didn't influence gang at all. It was, if anything, the other way around, because it wasn't no rappers. So the niggas that were rapping gangster shit, we was just rapping about the stuff that we were seeing in the neighborhoods. Okay. Because we ain't had no local rappers. You got to think, there wasn't nobody to emulate as far as being gangster. Who was our local rappers was Splack Pack, which they were making party music. Yeah, about to say booty music. Then outside that we had Two Live Crew and the whole booty shake stuff or whatever. So our lifestyle was by no means influenced by music. In fact, we had a hard time even getting making a scene with the kind of music we was doing. It wasn't no scene for that because everybody was so much into that other kind of music. It was hard for us, bro. It was hard for us, man. Groups like I said, Mad Dog Posse, Gang Them with their group, the Av, all these groups that I'm mentioning that I looked up to. We really didn't have no spot. Nobody would book us in no clubs to do no shows. How you gonna get up there rapping that kind of stuff? And you know what I mean? But
yeah,
to us, it wasn't about promoting violence. It was just about talking about what we was really seeing. Cause that's really how life was. Rap, our life in Palm Beach County at that time.
Yeah,
this the crack epidemic, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You had parties and shit every now and then, which that was on the weekend. But everyday life that we saw when we walked outside our door, that wasn't being reflected in the music that we was listening to. So then we got niggas from the West Coast, NWA, Ice-T, them niggas, when they started rapping that, damn, we can relate to this. This is what we can relate to. This is what we see every day.
Yeah. So that was going on here as well.
The lifestyle was, but not the music.
The
music didn't reflect our music did not reflect the lifestyle that was being lived in Florida at the time. Like people back then, they thought Florida was all about booty shaking.
Right.
But you got to think this was the gateway to cocaine. Came every kilo of cocaine that came to America came through Florida at that time.
Yeah.
So of course it was a big party atmosphere, but at the same time, what come with drugs?
Violence.
Booty shaking.
Violence.
Not booty shaking, bro. What come with drugs?
Violence, man.
Violence.
Yeah.
I guess I would have been a sexual crackhead.
I ain't talking about just on the addict side of it, but I mean, if you dealing with all these large amounts of coke, of course, it's gonna be gang robberies.
Yeah,
It started from they weren't just the cocaine cowboys down there tearing that shit up. That's all they popularized. But you think the niggas in the hood was at peace with each other? Nah, that shit was divided, bro. When money bring all kind of jealousy. It might not have been no territorial beefs about turf or whatever, even though that was going on. But it might have could have just been, a nigga trying to holler at your old lady while he at the gas station because his car look better than yours. And you jealous? Oh, this nigga got 30s and chunks on his shit, and you know what I mean? You trying to scrape up to get some hammers on your shit, and so you mad at him. You know what I mean? So that caused a robbery, but it all come from the culture of drugs, bro. It wasn't no rappers. Rappers didn't have nice cars back then because we didn't have no rappers. So if you seen a nigga with a nice car back then,
drug dealer.
He was a drug dealer.
Right.
That's what made me get gold teeth because all the drug dealers had
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So no, rap was not imitating. I mean, life wasn't imitating rap back then. It was the other way around. So now you got a new era of rappers that's coming out who are actually rapping about the things that they're seeing versus I couldn't go to the club.
Yeah.
Talking about a bitch on your tape giving a tabletop, and I've never seen that in my life. I mean, I'm 15 years old. I ain't never been to a fucking strip club.
Wow.
But I can rap about what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I just went and bought a 50 pack of Polly Nicks from this nigga and I'm finna make me $100. I can rap about that.
Yeah.
So when we heard Easy them rapping about what we was already experiencing, there was, oh man.
Change the game.
All right, change the game. Bro. Yeah. They changed the game. Like, damn, these niggas rapping about what we see, bro. What's real. Of course, we like girls too, so they throwing that in there, but these niggas ain't rapping about being in the club. What Q say? Fucking with me cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold in a pager. Nigga, that was us. Got a couple herringbone figure rotating in the people, nigga. Yeah. That's us. He rapping our life.
Yeah.
That's dope. J Red. You got J Red on the project. As we know, he locked up Free J Red. Small living. How challenging was that? Like, what was that process like? Getting that?
That was tough, bro. I was so determined to get it done because I'm actually tell you how the whole concept of that record came to be. Man.
Okay. Prison Prone. We're talking about Prison Prone, y'all.
Yeah. Prison Prone. Triple J on them. So shout out to my boy SS, man. SS the great, our mutual homeboy.
Okay, yes sir.
The great Haitian freshman. I mean, not Haitian freshman, but the real Haitian freshman.
Super Soldier. That's Super Soldier?
Yeah.
Super Soldier. Ain't another one bolder.
So me and S, we was chopping it up. We got a real close friendship that people might not see us together, whatever, but we always he always there to help me when I need him. I help him when he need me. We got a real mutual respect for each other because we made a lot of money together. You know how that go, man. You make a lot of money with a nigga, man. He gonna always have a spot in your heart.
Yes, sir. Right.
Yeah, so that's my nigga, man. So I was talking to him about where he was at, what he got going on now as far as career wise, because he do a lot of entrepreneur type stuff. He bounce around doing different things. So we just playing catch up. We hadn't spoke in maybe close to probably a year almost maybe.
Okay.
And I was just telling him where I was at with everything, and he just happened to ask me. He was like, "Okay, you gonna put J Red on the album?" No. He asked me. He said, "It'd be dope if you could get J Red to call in or something like that on the album." Like he brought up J Red.
Yeah.
I like, it's funny you say that, because I was thinking, probably get him to call in and do like a little skit or whatever. He like, yeah, no. Matter of fact, before because this is what the name of the song came from. He asked me what was up with J Red. I say, J Red, he in prison, man. Yeah. He like, damn, J Red back in prison. I say, yeah, man, shit, you know how bro is, man. He's like, yeah, he always has been prison prone. So when he said that, I started laughing. So he was like, yeah, man, it'll be dope if you could get him to call in or something. Yeah, I said, yeah, I should get him to call in, see if you could do a skit. I said, matter of fact, I'm gonna call it Prison Prone, bro. So he came up with the name of the song. Wow. So so I hit J Red people up. I was like, man, tell Jay to call me. And he hit me up maybe like a day or two later, and we talked about it. He was like, yeah, shit, I'll call in and do it. So the first day he called, he did the talking part, cause like the intro where he talking. Yep. So he did that, and after we got that, he asked me. He said, when you gonna be back in the studio? I'm gonna call in and drop my verse. And I told him when I was gonna be back in there, and of course all them phone calls monitored and everything, right? So the day I got my studio scheduled, my studio time scheduled, I get in there. We waiting for J Red to call. J Red called. As soon as he called, all the phones just started. Yeah, I say, God damn, like you know what I mean? All I can say is they was, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's the feds, dog.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do it then. So he called back later. He like, man, I don't know what the fuck happened, man. I was like, yeah, nigga, you know what happened, man. Them people don't want you, He was like, nah, we can do it, bro. We can do it. You just gotta come up with a way of doing it. I said, all right. So I told him, I said, this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna put a recording device on my phone. I'm gonna put an app on my phone that can record me, and I'm just keep it on there until the nigga call me. I never knew when he was gonna be able to call, because he would get his phone privileges revoked sometime and all kind of shit. So I just had this app on my phone that whenever somebody called me, I just let them know, hey, the phone call been recorded. You know what I mean? Until that day he called, I said, listen, bro, you ready to do your verse? He said, yeah. I said, go. And he just spit it, acapella. Yeah. So we took the acapella version. I brought it to Oscar, and of course, by him saying it without a beat on there, he was off beat a lot. So yeah, man, it took us about 2 hours just to put that verse together, bro.
Man.
It came out good too.
Yeah, it did. It came out good.
That's a classic.
If most don't know, after you listen to it, you be like, dang, the technicalities. No, that's dope. That's dope.
That was an important relationship with you and J Red did.
Yeah. I also, that song was important. See, the thing is, see, I look at it like this, man. With this album, I came in with the approach of, okay, we all pretty much everybody that was on there, with the exception of a few people, we pretty much was, we were living like gangsters, dog. You know what I mean? So I felt like we had, and not only were we living like that, but that's the type of music we was putting out there. So I felt like we had an obligation, me, G-Boy, Toe Down, you know what I mean, J-Red, we had an obligation to not only tell our stories, but talk about the consequences of our choices. You know what I'm saying? So that's really pretty much what it was about, man. So the song Prison Prone, that wasn't about glorifying that lifestyle. That was about talking about the consequences of living that lifestyle. That's why, I made sure G-Boy took the lead on there, because, you know what I mean, he had a hell of a story to tell, dog. And yeah, so that song could have been done without me. I was the feature on that song, really. You know what I mean? So even the whole overall theme of that album, that's what it was about, man. Like, okay, we unks now, man. We gotta, you know what I mean? Because these young niggas, they not gonna listen to people who they can't relate to.
Right.
So that I make sure I got niggas who they can relate to. Okay, these ain't just a bunch of old niggas talking. These some niggas who done did this shit, dog. All the shit y'all going through, and the niggas, the shootouts and the, you know what I mean, the everything, the getting the money, the drug life, all that. We did all that.
Yes, sir.
We did, like, we really did that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so we can talk about that, and we can tell you the consequences of it. There's a lot of niggas who can't tell their story right now.
Facts. And I think that's why I appreciate the Little Boy Shit record. Y'all talking about bossing up, owning yours, doing the right thing. And I you would think them kind of records, it's like that thing. I listen to that every day. I think Little Boy Shit set my mood for the day. You know what I'm saying? Just to be on your boss, man, grown man. And like you said, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But I think it's dope that y'all representing and putting positive music out there. We need that.
On the Poppa Pill challenge.
Yes, sir.
Man, those were some dope verses.
Yeah.
I ain't never pop a pill before.
See, the song ain't about.
I know that. Some people went on. Some
people gave you all kind of ideas what to do with it. Like,
so listen,
I ain't gonna lie. It kind of went in the direction where I was kind of like I was disappointed a little bit.
Right.
Not saying I was disappointed in what they was doing with the record.
Yeah.
But I was disappointed in thinking that I might have put the wrong
message out there.
You know,
yeah.
Not that I put the wrong message out there, but that people got the wrong idea.
Correct.
They took it the wrong way.
Yeah, they took it the wrong way, bro. It was about me. Okay, it's Poppa, Poppa, like Poppa, like Big Poppa.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then Pill, like
Pill.
I am the pill. Like I'm Poppa. I'm Poppa.
Yeah.
Pill.
Yeah.
You feel? I'm not telling you to pop a pill. Yeah. I'm saying I'm Poppa Pill. That's why I kept reiterating all throughout the song. My name Poppa Pill. Not because I pop a pill. I probably will because I'm ill. Street with Poppa Pill. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm playing with the words, but everybody else all they hear is Poppa Pill. And it really kind of show you the mind state of where everybody at right now, man. You know.
But I feel like
it was some dope shit on there.
We still got 2 more weeks, right, on the challenge. Yeah. But I feel like
just to clarify, the song is not. I'm not telling people to go. It's not a Poppa Pill challenge to see how many pills you can pop.
Yeah. Or
how many pills you can pop in your verse. That's not what it's about. It's about you being dope. Like I am the pill. That's what I'm telling you. I'm the pill. So yeah.
Right.
You know, everybody gonna translate things the way they want to.
I went and listened to everyone.
Oh, it's some dope shit on there.
I was reading.
Listen, even the ones glorifying, even the ones.
Man,
those they going off on that.
I felt like a little white boy in the suburbs because I'm not educated in popping pills, but the ones where you knew they knew what they was talking about, I was like, whoo. Is that what happened with this pill popping sensation? and then they going with the flow, and then they ripping it, and I'm like, man, this is some raw talent. And yeah, it was some raw talent. And I couldn't even lie.
I got warned though before I did. I ain't gonna lie. My homeboy Metal, he was like, I let him and Sean, PCC.
Yeah.
So I was down at their spot. I let him hear the record. I told him I was gonna do the challenge to it. So Metal was like, yeah, you don't think people might get the wrong idea with the power? I'm like, nah. I'm not saying Poppa Pill. I'm Poppa Pill. And he looked at me like, they ain't gonna get that.
They gonna see.
But yeah, so I did it anyway. But yeah.
Who got the most? Who winning so far?
It's been so much activity I couldn't keep up with. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't looked at it in about a week, man. I got people watching. My people.
Nice.
So after 3 weeks, you gonna take the top 5? How is it gonna work?
I think we're gonna do the top 8.
Okay, top 8.
Yeah, I got some homies. I ain't coming up with all the deciding factors.
Okay.
Nice.
And then
for right now, we think we're gonna do like a polling thing.
Okay, there you go.
And let the
fans choose.
Yeah. I'm definitely not gonna be one of the judges, or I'm not gonna even vote. So keep it completely unbiased.
And I feel like this challenge is you're pretty much keeping up with what's happening now with the TikTok, TikTok remixing or duets. I feel like that's what's trending to help records go viral now is open verses. Right. So I don't know if there's something you've been working on. You're going to continue, even with the rollout of Unknown. I appreciated just the behind the scenes footage you was putting out. Like I felt like I was tuning into a trailer every day, whether it was Duck speaking, yourself speaking, everyone was speaking, and then it dropped. So I think is there certain marketing going on with the visuals now? I feel with the internet.
Yeah, we definitely gonna put a visual plan behind it.
Okay.
And again, this wasn't done by mistake either. This is again S. I'm talking to S.
Yeah.
Probably I think it was actually during that same conversation we had with the prison prone thing. I let him hear the record. He was like, "Damn, this would be a dope ass record for you to do that challenge." Because I was talking about doing a challenge. I just didn't know which record I was gonna do it with. He was like, "Damn, well, that sounds like a nice record to do a challenge with right there."
Your storytelling on a different level. You ever thought about directing, man? Because your storytelling is
I would. That's my dream to get into.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Movies and animation. That's really what I. Just of course. You got to do what you do for right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's anybody out there listening to this and looking for some dope scripts, man. That's what I do, man. My son, all them stories, them can be movies, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matter of fact, somebody just sent me a link to a movie not too long ago that somebody made. I think it's on Tubi. but it's damn near verbatim like my song Butterflies, bro. And they were like, man, I guarantee you they heard your song in this movie, dog.
Yeah.
And recently I think A Letter to My Exes is called.
Yeah.
Man, that one. That record still blow my mind. I see everything. That's the one record I can listen to, and it's like I'm there looking over your shoulder. The way you go into detail, I'm like, damn.
That's all. Like, you have a production team, dog. Oh my god,
it feels so real. It feel like a movie. Yeah, for sure. It would be exciting. Trip, do you feel like there's a record that? Well, before I get to the record question, when did you know you were the man? When did you know when you got outside and you knew someone gonna say, "Hey, Trip"? Like what moment or what were you when you realized, damn,
I got something.
Yeah, I got something.
Yeah.
When I put out that Rivera thing, I mean a little bit before that, your homeboy gonna always root for you.
Yeah.
So when I was making my trip to Cali, I was bringing back the music. I did a song with Spice One, who at the time was.
Oh, that's big.
He was big at the time. So,
yeah.
And I was out there, hanging with E4. As a matter of fact, my 21st birthday. We in the studio and E40 having to come through and he working on his record with Tone Capone. Now mind you, we in a little studio actually it was a garage we turned into a studio.
Yeah.
But at the time you had to come see Tone if he was in the Bay. So you know what I mean, he had the most lavish looking spot, but everybody was coming through there. So I was rubbing shoulders with at that time people who was at the top of the game. You know what I mean? So E40, Spice One, Too Short, all them niggas was coming through on a regular basis over there. So this one particular time, E40 just happened to be there, and it was my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in I'm just in the lab. I'm waiting on these niggas to finish so I can get in with Tone. I was Tone artist, but whenever the big artists came, he had to make time for them. So you know what I mean. So I think I was in the middle of recording, and when 40 came, so I had to wait for them to do their thing. Then I forgot who even told 40 on my birthday. 40 was like, "It's your birthday, nigga." I was like, "Yeah, it's my birthday, big bro." "Oh, nigga, what you drinking, nigga?" So in my mind, I'm like, I ain't never had no bottle of Remy before. I just hear niggas talk about we was drinking Hennessy and shit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm doing. I said, I'm drinking Remy, nigga. What's up? He said, I tell you what. Told you take this nigga to the store. You get you a bottle of Remy. Get me a bottle of Remy. We gonna see who finish our shit first.
No.
So Tone looking at me like Tone don't drink it all. Tone just he a weed is. So Tone like he looking at me like, Trip, don't do this. But I'm in my mind. I'm like, nigga, I know what I'm doing, nigga. I drink E&J, nigga. This what fucking Remy gonna do to me?
Yeah.
So we come back to the studio, man. We drinking that shit straight too, bro. Every time I put one down, this nigga put down two. Before I know it ain't looking good for me. It ain't looking good for me. I'm seeing double. I don't want to let this nigga know he got me like this, right? So I get up, I walk outside and shit, bitch, the whole world spinning, man. I come back out and say, God damn, Tone, I don't think I'm gonna make my pass out, man. I'm throwing up all over me. So I remember E40 stand over me. Niggas, you drunk, nigga? Niggas, you drunk, nigga?
All the way.
Yeah, it was some good time in Cali days, man. So I came back home with with all them kind of stories and shit, and my people, they were like, yeah, boy, you got some shit, you know what I mean? But you don't ever know if they just saying that to encourage you or if you really got some shit. So when I really knew I had some, I put that raw beer out, man. When I seen niggas I ain't even know, riding around bamming that shit in their car, and they see the deer. And I tell people this all the time: you can pay for a record to get placement on radio, and pay a DJ to play your club in the record or whatever. Yeah, that means absolutely nothing, right? Compared to somebody who actually chose to put your record to put your CD in they player and play that shit. Yeah. Or somebody who chose to search you on their phone and play, I'm finna play this. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you ain't paying for that. Right. You're not even asking them to do that. Yeah. They doing that because they want to do that because they fucking with your shit. Yeah. So when I seen that, and like I said, I went on no radio. I wasn't getting played in no clubs. When I seen that going on and motherfuckers, knocking on my mama's door asking to buy CDs like I'm selling dope out this bitch, that's when I knew I had something, dog. That's when I knew I had something.
Speaking of that, well, I know me and Eric done took trips to 45th from back in the day. Yeah. When CDs was, physical copies, copying your albums and stuff. Can you talk about some of how the funding was? How was that? Was it successful dropping albums and Super Soldier Spot was jumping? Man, you know what I'm saying? So
that shit was, man, come on, man, I was making more money than the dope, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm getting CDs pressed, and at the time that was, a lot of money compared to probably what y'all now. Yeah, but you get a CD press for what, like 35 cents? You know what I mean? And we threw what is it? Disc makers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I ordered me up, few thousand CDs. You know what I mean? Maybe 5,000 at a time. So I think my biggest order was maybe 10,000. I'm selling them motherfuckers. If you buy them from me, they 10. I mean, like hand to hand 10. But 10. I was wholesaling a lot of them. Okay. Like the SS and Players of Palm Beach and all this. You know, a lot of the moms and pop stores. They'll buy them for 5 and sell them for 10. So either way, they're gonna cost the consumer $10. Yeah. But you know, of course, I make more money if I sell it hand to hand. But I made the bulk of my money from wholesaling them, dog. Cause I'm just sending them to the stores and I'm just waiting for them to run out. They call, hey, we need more CDs, and I was doing it on consignment. You know what I mean? So that was man.
I remember I went to the flea market one time, and coming from Delray, that was out of town for us at the time.
Same here.
And Super Soldier had his spot, and
man, I think I made the most money with S.
He told me, he said, Trip sell. I make the most money here from Triple J CDs. At the time, I didn't know how to process that.
Tell people how much money me and SS made selling CDs, bro. If I start saying that, it wouldn't be good.
Okay. I figured that maybe we ain't going. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, that nigga will always be like, you know what I mean?
He told me that. I couldn't register it because you thought to make anything you needed a deal first. Like you thinking of the processes. Right. We didn't have like the Bay Area model.
I was so good locally when Def Jam was actually ready to do the deal. Like the 2 years later when Face called me back, I was on some, for lack of a better term, I was on some arrogant shit. I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. Like, what they talking about? And I think my first number I threw out was like a million or something like that. He was like, nah, they ain't gonna give you no million. I can come back with something realistic. Maybe I can work with it. And I think I said 500 after that. Then we finally agreed on 350. But I was good. Like I ain't, you know what I mean? Yeah. The record deal was just a bonus on top of what I was already getting. Cause like I said, I was living off that. I was actually making a living off my music. Like I didn't work a regular job. I wasn't selling no dope. I wasn't doing no robbing. I was actually making a living off doing shows, doing features, and selling CDs. So yeah, I was good, bro. I was good.
And then Gladiator came after that.
Gladiator, that was at the height of my underground. You know what I mean? Right. That's the album that was right before. Actually, I was working on Gladiator when I did the deal. I was working on Gladiator. So that came in the process of me. By the time Gladiator was finished, I was already signed.
Is Whole Ass Nigga on Gladiator?
Which one?
Whole Ass Nigga? Yeah. I think that's my first. I don't know what club at that time, but I feel like that's the record I started hearing in the clubs when I was in the clubs bumping. I feel like Whole Ass Nigga was the one that started jumping off, and I'm like, who is this? Like, who is this? And they're like, that's Triple, and I'm like, damn. I remember asking my dog, I need that record. Like, give me that record. And I remember then I started following the movement and listening to the albums. But Gladiator, Whole Ass Nigga was a jump off, and I think Raylo was running it on the radios too.
Daddy Fat has just told us that cause we was talking about the 16 years old. Drego mentioned 16
I asked when that 16 come in because that was my first time I heard you on the radio.
And he cause I remember hearing it the most on Local Love and Daddy Fat's playing it. Right. And he said he almost got fired for that because they thought you was paying him. They thought you was paying them to play the record.
I remember that.
I get it because payola was like such a thing that you had to stay on top of it.
One thing I can say about Mark McCray, anybody that know Mark McCray familiar with him as a
program director.
When he had X102, and I'm pretty sure he still operates like this. If you even mention the word money, you'll never be allowed back on his premises. Like that dude didn't play with that payola shit, bro. So I never paid to get a song played on X102. A lot of people might have thought that, he paying them. Nah. I mean, not even none of the DJs. I ain't never paid Fats, you know what I mean? Because they knew that man didn't play that shit. You will get fired if he knows any of his DJs getting paid to play.
Gotcha.
He ain't play that at all, bro. So, 16 years old, that was the first record that got placement on X102. Then after that, that helped me build a relationship with the radio station. So from that point, I was able to just walk in and take a meeting with Mark and present records to him. And believe it or not, he turned down more than he accepted. Wow. Yeah, he turned down a lot of. Well, it wasn't actually him. He had his music director at the time was Preston. So Mark would be like, "Yeah, I like the record, but you gotta see what Preston say." Like he really let everybody play their position. And if Preston didn't like your record, it wasn't getting played. So I made the 3 records that got some good placement, some good airtime on X102.
Yeah, Yes,
Man, I was a youngin' man at the time, man. I wanted to remake that beat so bad, dog. Still to this day, man, I would actually want to actually sample that track because that's the first one that I heard from you, and then I heard everything else coming in from the homies on the block. But yeah, that storytelling again, that shit get me.
Yeah, man, that's one of my fortes, man. That's storytelling.
Yeah.
what the lick read? Big video, big record. You know what I'm saying? It was flexing. The crane came out.
Yeah, the crane.
You know what I mean? Like that hood. That remind me like when I remember seeing Hustling being shot on top of King of Diamonds. Like I figured like that's when you feel like you done made it. What was going on behind the scene? How were you thinking when What the Lick Read came out, and did it do what you expected it to do?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you when What the Lick Read came out, it was at such a it was a lot going on in my life on a personal level to I'm gonna just be honest, music wasn't even really, it had become a job at that point.
Okay.
I mean, I was just doing it because that was the career I chose.
Okay.
But I had so much other shit going on in my life, you know what I mean, personally, and probably when I ain't gonna say I was in the worst position financially because I just got with Big Scale, right prior to that it was pretty rough a little bit financially. But when I got that situation solidified, then things monetarily started back picking up for me.
Okay.
But I still had a lot of other stuff going through. I was going through like a real spiritual battle with myself around that time, dog. A lot of people don't know that. But I was like I was at that point in my life where I wanted to transition, like I wanted to live a little bit more positive. And I think probably that I got shot maybe like 6 months before that, you know what I mean? So I was still like in the process of healing from that. And I'm going through like, I think I went through midlife crisis a little bit early because I was going through it at that time, dog. So I'm mentally in a place where like I'm making all this dope ass music.
Yeah.
But I got, I ain't really proud of what I'm doing because, you know what I mean? I ain't seeing my fruitage ain't looking like what I wanted it to be. Because, when I'm at my shows, it look like I'm planting a seed that ain't coming out the way I wanted it to be. Not what I mean by saying that, when I see the outcome of what I'm producing, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just be real with you, man. I had one of my homeboys come up to me one day and he was like, "Man, you don't know how much it mean. My nigga, I pop your tape in, my nigga, I get on that powder, boy, I slide and bust one of these niggas' heads, my nigga, boy, you the theme music to my shit, boy, when I knock these niggas' ass off."
Oh shit.
You feel what I'm saying, bro? That type of shit though, you know what I mean? God damn, that ain't what you know what I mean?
Right.
I wanna make a nigga feel me, but not like that.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I ain't gonna lie, I cried that night, bro. I said my prayers in there, I'm like, Lord, this ain't what I meant to do with the gift you gave me. You know what I mean? I'm rapping about what I see, but it's a thin line between rapping about something and glorifying it. And sometimes people take it the wrong way. You might make it sound so good. Now, if you go back and study my shit, I never glorified none of that shit. Even if I talk about what I did.
Right.
We don't all, you know what I mean? I don't squeeze and all that kind of shit. But I don't talk about it in a glorifying type of way. I might talk about it like I'm going to defend myself or my loved ones. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not glorifying me having to hurt somebody. But other people might take it and they don't, read between the lines and they feel like you're glorifying something and they run with it like that, dog. So at the time of that What the Lick Read, when we was doing that album right there, bro, I wasn't really mentally in a real good spot. I mean, some people like the record that was on there, but that's probably like one of my I don't really listen to the records on there because it take me back to that time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What the Lick Read was a good record. I ain't excluding that.
Yeah.
I say that because that was, we had a good time making that record. But a lot of the records off that particular project, it just reflect where I was at that time, man. And it just, I had it was a dark place in my life. We all go through dark places at different periods in our life, and that was one of my darkest moments right there.
So what helped you though? You had to go to therapy, or you figured it out on your own?
No, I ain't against therapy because as a kid, my mom used to send me to therapy, so it was nothing that I was ever ashamed of having to do. You know what I mean? But at that time, I was probably self-medicating more than anything at that time, and then just trying to educate myself spiritually. You know what I mean? I got back into learning the scriptures and just putting myself around, separating myself from certain people and putting myself around better people. you know, just things like that, man. And then Tech, he was real good. At, you know, a lot of people don't know the inside behind it, but man, we came from a similar spiritual background, so we always had that in common with each other, and we had those talks. And a lot of people don't know, like, he actually, you know what I mean, he was like, bro, if it ever get too much to where you want to just let this shit go, man, and take a break and get yourself together spiritually, you know, I understand. He said, I know a lot of people ain't gonna understand, but you know, I feel you on that. And the day came, I just took him up on that. I called him, I was like, bro, I need a break, bro. And he was like, of course, it probably wasn't the best time to do it, you know what I mean? He was like, man, you sure you want to do it right now? I'm like, man, yeah, I'm about to, I need it right now, bro. I need it right now. And, yeah, so you know, I took that break. I took like maybe 6 months off. Then I came back with a relapse. And
there you go. That mixtape, right? Yeah.
Ever since,
I like that. I like that project.
Cause you grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
I grew up Jehovah's Witness too.
Oh, okay. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
And Tech Dad was Jehovah's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone just talk about don't open the doors for Jehovah's Witnesses when they come, like growing up. That was the one thing I got off of that. Is just like you see them dressed the white and black.
Right.
That's it.
You know what? Later, I was traumatized by not getting gifts and presents and stuff like that because you obviously you po too, so it kind of helped. But
that never bothered me though. Cause see, we still, my parents weren't raised as Jehovah's Witnesses, so they was coming fresh out of their old traditions or whatever. So we never got our gifts didn't come in packages saying Christmas gifts. But every Christmas we got stuff. Like we weren't never lacking what other kids got. We just we ain't put no tree up in the house and we ain't standing around saying Christmas carols and wait for 12 a.m. to open our gifts. Like, but everything on sale at that time. How you ain't gonna buy your child no gift? So yeah, we got bikes, bicycles every year. You know what I mean? We got ours a day early. We riding our bike on December 24th.
Oh, that's the Jehovah's Witness cheat code.
I mean, like I said, my parents was fresh into it when I was born, when we was coming up. So my dad is a whole lot more serious about it now. But back then, it was a new lifestyle. So
yeah,
they still was like my older brother. They was Santa Claus and everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But so by the time I came along, they was breaking a little bit more out of the tradition. But yeah, we didn't go through that not getting gifts around that time of the year. They just weren't called Christmas gifts.
Listening to some records too, you also talk about you're a father. You have all girls, no boys. Two girls, right? Yeah. So I mean, just talking, you're not reading your vibe. But who is Triple J as a father? How is Tripp as a father, and how is it raising two girls?
Oh man, listen. I'm gonna tell you. Okay, my oldest daughter just graduated Saturday.
Congratulations!
Congratulations! I'm feeling now because I feel like me having to be so the mean dad. I'm past that now. So me and my kid. I mean, we went through this. Especially my oldest daughter was like she was always a daddy's girl, like being younger. But then when she went through her teenage years, we disagreed on a lot of things, and then I became the enemy for a little while. And so now she passed that phase, and what I mean, she pretty much know what she want to do with herself, and it just feels good now, man. I ain't gotta be the mean guy. No
right. Now you can be the good guy. Yeah.
One of those people that felt like you, and I'm like assuming that I'm making an assumption here, but you want to know people that felt like you had daughters to teach you a lesson of things that you knew in your processes that you in your relations with women in the past.
Like, not just having daughters, but it's something I did somewhere, bro. That I be paying for it. That's how I feel. That's how I personally feel. Ain't no doctor or nothing teaching me this, but this is how I personally feel. Like I've done something somewhere along the way. Yeah. That I'm being, punished might not be the word for it, but I'm paying for some shit I done did before, bro. And not just with having kids, but just through all aspects of my life. Like,
right.
Damn, what the fuck did I do?
Something. Cause when you said mean dad, I was like, he probably was putting up on game.
That too, but I was more protective than anything.
Yeah.
Like when it was little girls, I wouldn't let them spend the night at nobody's house. They couldn't understand that. Their mama couldn't even understand that. So we bumped heads a lot about that. just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Always making sure, when you're coming out, lock the door. You know what I mean? Why everybody don't, man, lock the door. We don't sit in the house with the door unlocked.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just little shit like that. You know what I mean?
How do you balance like stepping out, Triple J, Jonathan? Like, do you ever have to turn it off? Like, is there any frustrations that come with, man, I'm tripped now. Like I got my chains on.
Right.
I'm in artist mode. I'm fresh.
A lot of frustration.
Like, so what's some? Yeah.
I really,
Can you share anything?
I really am an introvert at heart. Anybody
Oh,
know?
and I know
Really?
that album.
Nah.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta like actually get in the zone to even do I don't do a lot of interviews and all that kind of stuff, man. 'Cause to me, it's always been more about the music. And I come from an era where it wasn't about the artists. Like our favorite rappers, someone we didn't even know what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
You know what I mean? It was totally about the music.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the videos, and of course, video was something that we look forward to seeing when they did drop it. But you didn't have to make videos to sell records.
That's facts.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest frustration we see in the game now is the keeping up with TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You gotta be doing this. You gotta be doing that.
You gotta think Ghetto Boy's first video was like probably 3 albums in, maybe with Mind Playing Tricks on. What was it? Like 3 projects in, wasn't it? And it was already like, nationally known, at least in the hood. Everybody knew them. We didn't even know what they looked like.
Yep.
Yeah, I ain't even.
I still don't know what they look like.
Oh, like whoa, it's a midget in Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, so it wasn't about no video.
Right.
Going off of that question you asked them, because I think I asked similar questions in other interviews. So in this, I'm relating this from something I experienced from having a lot of attention on you, more attention than the average person, well over your peers even, and then having to balance, still trying to just normally be a normal human at times. It was for me, and I'm just saying that, I don't know if I'm even phrasing it as a question, but for me, it got to a point where you wasn't considered nothing more than the music. So if you you felt like you was looked as less than if you wasn't doing the music, or if you wasn't making the video, or you wasn't doing all these things, and then you go through this phase to where, oh, I'm nothing if I ain't doing the music. And if I'm not doing it, I kind of look like a failure. At least people not trying to say it that way, but it's making you feeling like that. And you go through this point the way you're like, I didn't even know this was something I would ever have to deal with in my life, feeling ashamed of just not living up to other people's expectations. And you never know that was something you had. I'm
gonna tell you why I can see how that might work. That might be some people's situation, but I'm gonna tell you why that was never my situation. And I'm thankful for this, because even though a lot of the people I had in my life, they probably didn't have the best upbringing, and probably didn't do the best things. But one thing about it, man, my nigga was real, bro. So I was never a rapper to none of my people, bro. I was never a rapper to none of my people. Like, right to them niggas, man, I'm just you know what I mean. I'm just Trip. You know what I mean? Like, not Triple J the rap. I'm just like, to my family, to my close friends. So when I stopped rapping, nothing changed. Or when I went through my cold spells or whatever. Yeah. Like, them niggas ain't, nigga, what you doing? Which probably might have been to my detriment, because I ain't had nobody pushing me to go do that. But the people around me, they love me for who I was. They ain't give a fuck about if I was rapping or not. So I never felt less important if I wasn't rapping. To me, what kept drawing me back was my passion. Like I just couldn't get out of my soul. Like, this was my call. He just kept calling me. So I never. But I can see how some people might let it define who they are. But I was grounded enough by the people around me to never let what I did for any kind of money, you know what I mean, define who I was. Like, even if I was, selling dope or whatever, I never let that define me who I was, because I never became who I was based off what I was doing. can still laugh and crack jokes, and you know, squeeze that motherfucking pistol at the same time. You know what I mean? That's I'm not trying. Ain't gotta be just one way.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And everybody around me, they accept me for whoever I am. You know what I mean? I never had to try to be nobody to impress nobody, dog. I don't know. I guess maybe growing up, you know, the way I did, we was always different anyway. So I never felt no pressure to try to be, you know, to try to please other people. And so with being like that, the type of people that were attracted to me was people who accepted me for who I was. So whenever I went through, even right now, no regardless of if I'm successful, if I'm whatever, the people around me, I'm gonna be the same person. So, you know, my family ain't never looked down on me because, you know, oh, you had to deal with Def Jam, but you ain't become Jay-Z. That shit never comes up.
Gotcha.
Real, that never comes up.
That's real.
Yeah.
No, that's real. That's real. Well, Trip, right now we got a game. We usually do a little exposure trivia where it'll be 4 rounds where I ask you a question and I'll pretty much give you an A, B, C, D, and you give me your best response on which one you think is the right answer.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go for it. First one. If 4 kids are playing in the house and something breaks, how many kids get in a whooping? A, the one who broke it. B, the one who lies about it. C, the one who snitches. Or D, all 4 of them.
Well, in my house, we weren't supposed to be playing around my mama good shit, so anybody who was involved in that game is getting their ass whooped.
That's correct. D, all 4.
All of the above. All the above.
Yes, sir. Good job on that.
Next door neighbors too.
Oh yeah. Shit, we got it too. Yeah.
Next door neighbor whoop
got
your
Lamar
ass.
across the street over here playing now. To break his shit. His ass get whooped too.
And they changed those laws now.
Oh, listen. You ain't lie. Next round. On the show Fresh Prince, what was the name of Uncle Phil's pool stick? Lucille, A, B, Bertha, C, Lucy, or D, Agatha?
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I think we're from a different era.
No. I ain't never see that episode.
Like that.
You ain't watch Fresh Prince like that?
No.
All right, cool.
You gotta think at the time, the height of the first, I'm a little older than y'all.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Fresh Prince was on TV, I was like in the streets. I was really in the streets.
No pressure.
So take a guess
I
what
knew
level.
about this show. Like I knew Alfonso was
Carlton.
Okay.
I knew Will Smith was Fresh Prince. Uncle Phil, I don't know his real name. I knew Antville.
Yeah.
Hillary. Everybody knew Hillary for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Ashley was the little sister, but that's all I know.
Okay, no pressure on that. Well, it would have been A, Lucille. I got a different one. All right, this will work. Whether you like them or not, your mama or granny made you eat these 2 things on New Year's Day. A, mac and cheese. B, black eyed peas and greens. C, ribs and beans. And D, chips and dips.
I know the tradition, but like I said, we didn't grow up following tradition in my house.
Okay.
So my mom cooked whatever she felt like cooking, but I know traditionally that in the hood they eat black eyed peas.
Correct. B, black eyed peas and greens.
Hey.
Yeah. And one more. Just as what if you know Kobe Bryant's middle name?
Who?
Kobe Bryant. I'm gonna have you take a guess.
I thought I know his nickname Bean.
You got it, D. I ain't even gotta go all the way through. And I just found that out. I'm like, yeah.
I ain't know that.
You got it.
That's
Good job.
crazy.
Dang, that's crazy. I just found that out. I'm like, Bean.
Yeah.
I ain't know that.
I ain't know that either.
Okay, there you
Kobe
go.
Bean Bryant.
Was that his real middle name?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was his
No, that's his real middle name.
Okay.
Wow.
I was like, yeah. I was like, I just learned that today.
Hey,
I thought that was the
Right
nickname.
before the show.
you on point. You on point.
Yeah, he is. So when you look back though, Trip, is there anything you would change when you look back as your career? Is there any one
Of
moment
course,
you was like,
I think anybody who say they wouldn't change nothing in their life is lying. A lot of people just don't like to admit that they, that they're ashamed of certain things, or that they made mistakes, or that they have regrets. But I got a shitload of regrets, bro.
Could you give us one?
But the thing is, I don't let my regrets or my past mistakes define me.
Right,
Like,
right.
I don't beat myself up in pity. Like I know I probably, people that's close to me, this probably aggravate them, but it's so easy for me to say I'm sorry. It's so easy for me to say I'm sorry. Like I don't understand how people can just have, what's wrong with it? Yeah, my bad. I fucked up. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's relieving to me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't walk around with that shit on me talking about
Yeah.
Like nobody will ever die that I love, and me have the feeling like, damn, I wish I could have, made up with him or said I'm sorry. Like at this point in my life, whoever I'm cutting off for good reason. So it ain't gonna be no regrets. And as far as people who I might have hurt in the past, and I feel like I want to make amends, I've already reached out to them, and you know what I mean. So I don't live like that. I ain't got no problem with admitting my faults and embracing my regrets. So I got a lot of things that I would change in my life if I could. A whole lot of them. Too many to name. But again, they don't define what I let myself become, and also. It's a lot of those mistakes I'm thankful for because they made you who you are. Right. Not only who I am, but a better person. You can be who you are and be a fucked up person. But my mistakes, learning from my mistakes, have made me a better person.
But I think that's something that they don't teach no more. You know what I'm saying? Shit, when we were growing up in school, I remember saying, "Hey, you fucked up. You did something wrong." They told you to apologize, right? I mean, we grew out of it, but then we got to grow back in it when we grow back. When we become adults, because we can.
Somewhere along the way. I remember even it was a slogan being pushed. I'm very unapologetic. Like how fucked up is that? Unapologetic. Who the fuck is you? You unapologetic? Right. That's what's wrong with people, man. Right. That's what a lot of shit is, and it comes with lack of respect.
A trend, yeah. Right.
No more respect in the world, bro. Right. You step on somebody's shoe. If it was a mistake, what you supposed to say?
My bad.
So how the fuck you going around talking about you unapologetic?
Right.
See, that come from all this new shit that's being pushed. It come from people who never really grew up in the streets. See, bro, the internet fucked the game up. Yeah. Because these niggas ain't really growing up in the streets. They growing up on these apps. They growing up behind looking at their phone on computer screens and shit. No, nigga, we was outside for real. So you had to be respectful. All that unapologetic, you will die being unapologetic. You step on a nigga's shoe, you better say I'm sorry. Oh, my bad, bro. Yeah. Oh, my bad. You gotta respect a nigga. Yeah. You feel me? And the people have lost respect, bro, because ain't no consequences coming with it. Right. There's no consequences. You being taught that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do and fuck everybody's feelings. That ain't real life, bro.
That's real.
Yeah.
No, that's real.
That needed to be said.
Oh, fact. I think I said it before. Or we grew up fearing God, our mothers, and what the police up at one point.
You ain't got no fear, no respect, right. No more, man. Unapologetic. I start hearing that shit. What the fuck is that? What that mean? Unapologetic. Right. Now, if I did some shit that I don't gotta apologize for, that's different. I'm unapologetic about being black. You know what I mean? But if I hurt you in any kind of way, and I ain't mean to do it, I'm apologetic about that. What that? How does that demean me? Well, that don't make me less of a man. Cause I regret doing something to you, and if I hurt you, so I don't know, man.
No, you
right.
You sound like
you
right.
You right.
You like, and I would fix a lot.
Yeah. And I guess my next question will be like, what's coming? What can we expect from you now? I know I was with Van Dam the other day. He said y'all got something coming.
Yeah, Jordan James. That's the
okay.
The hood gonna love that.
All right.
So, I'm kind of slow with mine. Like he been sending me the records, so I've been jumping on the records that he sent me. Okay. But so far he been taking the lead, man. Okay. It's James shit. Right now, if they both was, doing a 2-on-2, James would be taking the lead. So
he ain't do a Poppa Pill challenge yet, did it?
He did.
He did it. I ain't see it.
Yeah, he did.
Because I seen somebody comment on the One Hot. It was like, Van Dam got to do one. Next.
They both.
They did it.
They came through. He slid, man.
He went off.
Yeah, he went off. He definitely went off.
Yeah, my favorites.
I'm not gonna lie either.
Yeah, and it ain't just because I like him as a rapper. I really like his verse.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And another thing Van Dam did that hardly nobody else did, and I guess it's because we've been knowing each other, artistically outside of outside of the rap shit. Like me and him been personally knowing each other since he was probably about 14. So he know me in a lot of ways. And he like the only one that really got what I was saying about the Poppa Pill chapter. Like he ain't mentioned no repercussions. Like he made himself the dope, and that was the concept of the song was. Yeah. So I had to call him. I was like, bro, you got it. You know what I mean? I heard some dope shit. I said, but you like the only one that really got it, dog. Yeah. He like, I know you ain't talking about doing drugs. Like shit, you talking about how dope he is. You talking about how dope I am. You know what I mean? So that was the whole premise behind it, man. I am the pill. But like I said, we still got some good music out of it though from everybody else.
Okay. Jordan and James and another solo album coming this year? Oh, we can't say.
Just start dropping songs, man.
Okay.
I might not do the album thing, who knows? But that ain't no plan right now.
Right.
so many songs, like I said, I was working on before we did the Anthem thing. I'm just start putting them songs out, bro.
That's what's up.
Hey, it was a minute ago. You dropped a video. I seen it on Worldstar. Did you have to pay to put your video on Worldstar, or it just went viral and it ended up on Worldstar? I'm trying to remember which one it was, but you was in front of a corner store. It was a minute ago. I haven't been on Worldstar yet. There you go. Okay, that's probably what it was.
That was so long. I forgot how I got on there, but we knew somebody.
Okay.
Some kind of way.
Yeah, I remember being on top, and the video was just right on top. Yeah.
Well, brother, man, I just and I know you don't do a lot of interviews. I think me and Eric talked about it just before we got here. How excited we were for you to take your time out and definitely bless us because we look at inspiration is so much. I think from I seen you coming up, and I think we all was influenced by Triple J in one way or the other, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to say thank you for not only pulling up for your contribution to the music scene and what you do. We all appreciate it. I know I definitely appreciate it. And here on the show, and I just want to say thank you and give you your flowers while you can definitely smell them, and you all appreciate it, brother, for sure. And I think I speak on behalf of everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank y'all for having me. Of course, we all got. Well, this is my first time meeting homie.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Eric, we all got history.
Yeah, we all got history. And you actually, believe it or not, the record you did with Super Soldier, the Cancer record, he produced it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah,
we gonna run into each other somehow.
Yeah, that's there you go, man. But definitely, unless Eric, you got anything else?
Yeah, thank you for your contribution. Thank you for putting me on the album. Always having positive words. Just inspiring and laying the path and foundation, because a lot of us mimicked and was inspired by many of your moves. Many of us wouldn't even know who Oscar was if it wasn't. I remember that was like a goal. We going to record when Triple J record that.
Going to D-Swat. I said it was like we going to cover D-Swat. Okay, I'm going to book a shoot.
Well, we want to be.
So the first person taught me because again, like I said, we came from that era where you didn't have to know what your favorite rapper looked like. So I made it my point. I never wanted to show my face. Plus, I really living it. The shit I was rapping about, I was living like that. So I didn't want to be seen, you know what I mean, until I got my life together.
Gotcha.
But by the time we did my addictions, so I was like, okay, dog.
That's the Dolphin jersey?
Yeah.
Is that the... Yes, sir.
These are like, okay, bro, you're a real rapper now. You need to show your face.
There you go.
Like, you know what I mean? Put the sheets, get rid of the street shit, man. It's time to show your face, man. Yeah, I'm like, damn, I ain't ready yet, bro. Like, you got to, because at that point, I think people was actually booking shows under my name and all that shit. Like,
damn.
People was all in Tallahassee saying they was Triple J, so I was like, yeah, man, time for me to
Hey, that's before the internet when you was scamming. You performing and somebody else, they probably knew your lyrics and everything.
You know what? And I ain't never told this story in the interview before, bro. Y'all probably heard about the time when when niggas was bootlegging my music in the flea market, and I tore that shit up.
I heard.
I heard about it. Yeah, it's a video.
So that's another one of the reasons I knew. Okay, it's time for me to show my face. So I'm walking through the flea market one day, and I'm hearing, I said, damn, that sound like my music, man. Like the Blood Raw song. So the closer I get, I said, that is my shit. So I get over to where the nigga selling the CD. Bro, you can't even see his booth. He got like he giving a live concert in the flea market.
Wow.
So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I know a nigga ain't in here rapping my shit. So when I finally make my way through the crowd, I get up to the front. He playing it on this, you know what I mean? So he got niggas lined up. Oh, let me get one. This man, I watched him sell at least 30 CDs in my face. Damn. So I'm waiting, again, I'm mild man, and I ain't trying to, but I'm gonna let this nigga know he doing something wrong. So I'm waiting my turn. Yeah. You know what I mean? I gotta wait my turn to tell this nigga to stop. You feel me? Yeah. So when he get to me like, what's up? I say, man, who gave you permission to be? Ain't no permission he can get other than me at the time. You feel me? I ain't got no deal or nothing. So I want to see how the nigga gonna play it. I said, bro, who gave you permission to be selling this music? He said, what you mean? I said, who gave you permission to sell this man's music? He said, Triple J did. I said, you know Triple J? He said, yeah. I said, all right, bro. The gig is up, man. Stop playing with shit. Whatever you done made thus far, we gonna let that go. But stop selling my shit, bro. We gonna have a problem. We gonna have a problem for real now. Stop selling my shit. Yeah. This nigga looked at me and say, you're not Triple J. Get the fuck out of here. I said, what? I said, listen here, bro. Now I'm getting loud. So everything done stopped. Everybody looking at me like, damn, who this nigga? I'm in this flip. I said, listen here, bro. I'm telling you right now, dog. stop selling my shit, my nigga. We gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know Triple J, man? Get the fuck out of my shot.
Oh no.
No, this what did. It wasn't even that. This what did. It was a girl. This girl said, "Oh, this nigga ain't Triple J. I know Triple J. He lying." You know that's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it meant. When she said, I said, "Okay, you make sure you have your ass here too when I come back." So I walked to the back of the flea market. They had I don't know, they were doing some construction or something at the time. Again, things happen for a reason sometimes.
Yeah.
So as soon as I bust out the back door, there's a wrought iron pipe laying on the side by the door. I picked that motherfucking pipe up. I'm rushing back in there. So security stopped me. It was Ruth she was the security guard at the time. She's like, "Well, what you doing? Where you going with that pipe?" I said, "Ruth, go ahead and call the police. Get out my way. This nigga finna pay right now." When I said that, she backed. You know, Ruth was scrapping and everything. She backed up because a lot of people, because I was known already being up, but they never seen me act like that. So they knew, if this nigga acting like that, he got a reason.
Yeah.
So I go in that motherfucker. I ain't even say nothing else to the dude. I just put that motherfucker. I tore up everything in that motherfucker. I said, "Back up, nigga, before you get it. I'm gonna tie all this shit up. Back up." So I broke his CD. What you call this shit?
Disc changer.
The thing that make the CD.
Oh, the duplicate.
I smashed that shit. I smashed all his glass countertops. The security stood there and watched me do it the whole time. I said, "I don't give a fuck, y'all. You call the police. I don't give a fuck. This nigga stealing my shit. This nigga stealing my shit. I ain't gonna call him. This how I'ma handle it."
Yeah.
So I tore his shit up, man. But
No consequences.
Nah. Cause again,
I guess he took it to the chin. He knew he was in the wrong.
Yeah, and then in the security, they knew me, so they ain't called the police. You know,
Right.
there wasn't no police, and it was just security.
Yeah.
And they knew I wasn't no real troublemaker like that, so police would never call, man. I mean, I ain't wait around anyway. After I did that, I left.
Rightfully so.
But then, probably about a day later, he got my phone number from somebody. He called me, and he actually apologized to me, and we wound up being real good business acquaintances after that. He started
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. That's what's up.
Wholesale.
Got it right.
And I think once he realized, like, damn, I'm sitting there cussing this man out, and it's really his shit. I'm stealing his shit. Cause that's how he was talking to me. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know Triple J. You know what I mean? Talking to me like that. And that was the utmost disrespect, dog. So after that, then D-Swag came to me like, man, it's time to let people know what you look like, bro. So that one of the side facts too.
That fake Triple J in Tallahassee probably came down and introduced himself as you.
He was just smashing off the name, dog. He was up there. He actually told me one of my homeboys.
Hey, it would have been kind of dope to be back then before internet.
Man, he said, just if you hear about it, boy, some girls over there think they don't, they don't got the triple. Just let you know it was me. Hey, damn, man. It even happened. Even more reason than that, man. Shout out to D-Actors, man. Cook 'em up.
Yeah.
Y'all, a lot of people know it's Chico homeboy Dave.
Yeah.
But one night, me, Dave, and Cook 'em up, we was all out one night when I went to a strip club. So we just club hopping this night. Just me, I don't know why. It's late. It's about 3 in the morning. We still club hopping. I said, man, y'all take me home. We all high and shit. I said, man, y'all take me home. Man, I'm done for the night. That's when the beans will pop. They dropped me off, man. Cook called me the next morning and said, "Hey, boy, we went by the motherfucker what's the shit we call Wild Side? I think it's not Wild Side, but what's the shit on Congress? Not Cheetah, but
Rachel's.
Not Rachel's. I can't remember the name of the shit. On Congress and Okeechobee. But anyway, he called me. He said, "Man, we what's the shit? Silhouettes."
Oh, whoa, yeah, he went back. Yeah. I heard of it though. I ain't been. Yeah.
Similac.
Yeah.
Ain't that,
No, silhouettes.
Milk.
Yeah.
Not Similac.
Silhouettes, man. That's Similac.
Everything else closed.
Yeah.
So Cook 'em up called me this morning and say, "Yo, boy, we drop you off, boy. We Silhouettes, boy. I ain't even like, boy. I call one of them snowbutters, boy. I told our Triple J, boy, I got the worst, boy." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, but I told our Triple J, just let you know, I used your name last night."
Oh,
I said,
Lord.
Dirty nigga, dog. Shout out to the dog, man. Cook 'em up, R.I.P., man.
Oh, man.
Can I use your name?
Huh?
Can I use your name if I ask permission?
I don't know what I look like now.
Oh, okay. Hey, cause he's so nice about it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'll use your name.
At
At least you told me.
At least you
You
told
ain't
me,
selling
right?
a CD.
Oh, man.
So there's a lot of people out there probably think they had the triple, but the triple ain't been around like that. It's a lot of people who impersonate the guy.
Oh,
that comes with the game, man. That comes with the game. Dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out to the game.
Shout out to the gang, Drego.
yeah, man. No. Oh no, I'm just happy that you were a big piece of the history of just Palm Beach period, man, and nobody really knew like the history, and I'm happy to even seeing it myself with my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to say, man. I'm just glad to be in the presence, bro.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, man, y'all tuned into Exposure, the one and only Triple J. Y'all stay tuned. There's always more to come, and I can see us having you later down. Hey, we family, man. Whenever you drop that project, you need to come talk about it. Whatever you got going on, you got a home here with us, man. On Exposure.
That's it.
All right, y'all tuned into Exposure. We out.
I ain't popped this time, my guy.
Oh man. Yes, sir.
You thought you ain't have nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
I don't know if you seen. I was like, now he good. He's go now. He's go now.
It's the way y'all prolong the question.
I felt like the stories were coming on the back end. Now you was just giving them to us.
It's more than just a podcast. It's exposure.